Here's a couple more. The Devil Wears Prada been around since 2005. What's been the major change in your life since that moment? Because you were youngsters getting started, you've grown up a bit.
Yeah, we've grown up a lot. I think everything has changed besides the moral foundation that is our Christian faith, but otherwise it's totally different. I mean, I joined the band when I was 16 going on 17. So obviously with anybody, it's a world of difference coming from that to where I am now. And that applies to the other guys as well. And it also comes from all of us were in relatively small towns in Ohio outside of Dayton, and just doing that to starting to travel the U.S. while I was still in school and Chris was still in school, and then going from that. And then once Chris and I graduated, we went straight into touring full time. Within a year, being in Australia and being in England, and then a year from then coming to Germany and Amsterdam. I don't know if we've ever been to Eindhoven, I'm not positive. But yeah, and I think that has a very powerful toll on any individual or person. So yeah, I think we've all changed drastically. But the one thing that has very much stayed the same has been us trying to do this for the same reason and wanting to have that same sort of moral influence on people, as well as just making songs that we really like and songs that we stand behind and that we're sincere about. So
cool. You've been together for a long time as a steady group. What's the secret? How do you, when evolving and growing up together like that, being in a bus all the time together?
Yeah, I think again, that sort of moral foundation plays a big part, and I feel like it's always kept us together. We've learned to get along better over time. We definitely still butt heads often, but it used to get
intense,
pseudo-violent.
Really?
Yeah, so it's taken understanding. It's also taken us maturing as people. I've always said that it's like nowadays it's not so much about the music maturing, but the people making it maturing. And that's helped a lot as well. It's different being a bunch of feisty 17-year-olds to a bunch of 23-year-old adult men. So that has a big part too, but I think that the big thing when we were younger and we had the hardest times was that we all could still, as much as be like, I want to kill you, is sitting around being like, we want to do this together. We want to tell people what is good, what is pure, and play these songs. And I think that was the huge thing as far as getting us through the early times.
Cool. Heavy music scene has been expanding enormously since the period that you guys got started. Are you still excited about the heavy music scene? And would you ever grow tired of this intense type of music? And if you did, what kind of music would you be making?
I think it's entirely possible I would grow tired of it. I don't think I'll ever get tired of aggression and the passion behind heavy music, which is the sort of raw, fundamental aspect of why I love playing hard-hitting songs. Obviously, I never really call myself a musician. I just write words and yell them in a band as tastefully as I possibly can and emotionally as I possibly can. But I don't know. I would love to still be involved with music, even if I didn't play with this band. I have no idea what it would be, though. But yeah, that's a good question. I am still intrigued and enchanted with metal. Not to say that I haven't become jaded, because I think I have. And I've definitely been disenchanted with a lot of the characteristics of young music because of all the trends and the passing popularity of so much of that. And it's something we've tried to stay away from. Not that we definitely been involved before. I mean, we made a rap cover that we all now regret. Little things like that, But nowadays it's a more mature effort. It's a more evolved effort. And unfortunately, you can't really expect that from young bands, but not all hope has been lost, I don't think.
All right, cool. In the States, back home, does the band ever get criticized for not being Christian enough, where that, whatever that means to whomever, and how is your response to those people? How do you handle expectations like that? Do you handle that?
we are criticized of that. Honestly, I think I heard more about it earlier in our career than we hear about it now. I don't know if that's just because I'm off in my own different world or something.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, earlier on, you know, being a metal band and calling yourself Christians, being Christians, you're always hear like, don't you get flack from the metal crowd? And honestly, it's more persistent to hear flack from the church crowd than the metal crowd, at least most of the time for us. And you know, we play different Christian festivals here and there throughout the year.
Yeah.
When
So
we're-
you guys at Cornerstone.
Yeah, exactly. Like back home. And that's cool because a lot of the fans that go to that aren't allowed to go to Mayhem Fest, which we did over the summer this year with, you know, Motorhead and Slayer and Slipknot. So that's a good thing, but at the same time, I think I have criticism towards the church as far as I think priorities now being messed up and all that. So yeah, we have received stuff about, oh, you're metal and you do this, that, and I think really we've just really grown to adjust, and we can, you know, I'm not gonna stand up on stage and drink all night and curse all night, but that's not to say that I'm not gonna have a beer or I don't curse like a sailor sometimes. But that's a big part of the expectations and a part of being called a hero and that sort of idol worship and whatnot that gets played into like the Death Throne material and the things that we like to speak about.
Does that mean that people make you trying to get stuck between whatever is the secular world or whatever they think you should be as a person of faith, and all these expectations just kind of, I can imagine that being very like nearly like choke you, like there's never a way of doing it right.
I've definitely felt that way. Honestly, I think that sometimes I've thought about it before. Like I think like that Mumford and Sons, like they call themselves a Christian band or whatever. I think that it's easier for indie bands to get away with it for some reason as compared to metal. Or maybe it's because a lot of those bands are older than us, which is a logical excuse. But yeah, it's entirely overwhelming to be stuck and needing to be categorized like that. And really whenever it's brought up and people want to question or challenge that, I've always felt that the best resolution is to explain that yes, we are the people on the stage or whatever, you can call us the metalcore band, the Christians, the rock stars, whatever, but I will never ever see us anything different than human beings. And if you want to categorize me or the band by something, I would go with that, because that's what the effort is, that's what Dead Throne is, that's what the Devil Wears Prada is that combined effort between us to work together and make something. But at the same time, you know, we still have to take out the trash, we still have a phone bill to pay and things like that. And I think some of that becomes hazy when people do want to stereotype everything and I don't know, make a genre of everything.
Right. Cool. Well, that's it for now. Good luck with your show tonight. Thank you for your time.
Yes, thank you very much for having me.
And it was lovely meeting you.
You as well.
Mike, excellent human being. Devil Wears Prada.
Thank you. It was a wonderful interview. My best I've had in quite some time.
Really?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, I'm happy to hear that.